I love it.
There we go. There we go.
I love
Don't worry, guys. I'm going to give you a little piece of his music on Saturday. When you tune in for He Said, She Said, don't worry. I'm going to let you listen to Syndicate. That's one of my favorite. So I'll play that for you on Saturday. But I want to know how, okay, so spoken word, it's an act form that's more and more, more and more people you see starting to explore spoken word. How did you get into it?
Well, I started writing when I was about 12, and it was really earlier than that, like around the age of 10. But it was something that I would just do freely, and honestly in secret, because I grew up in the South Bronx, where I played a lot of sports, and I was very popular. And expressing yourself in an artistic form is not really a popular way to be. How you say? Exfoliate yourself. I didn't say be yourself. It was looked down upon. If that means, amongst peers. As stupid as that is, kids can be kind of cruel.
Yeah.
With that being said, I've my mom passed away when I was 12, and it was a real tragic thing for me. Being that she was basically my sole provider, everything I had, and my whole life changed after that. But writing was a way for me to escape whatever I was going through, more than even the sports that I played. And even though I could have probably went, further than what I did playing sports, the universe had a different purpose for me. And while I was playing sports, I found that I had the ability to speak to people and just inspire them. And it was through, inspiring my teammates and playing sports that I learned a lot of lessons in life. With that being said, writing was something that I shied away from and I didn't want people to know about. And it was my English teacher in high school that put me on the spot. I used to cut class all the time to go smoke weed, and he knew I was one of the most, versatile and well-spoken individuals in the class. I had an extensive vocabulary, more than a kid that didn't attend class and still passed. You get what I'm trying to say? So, with that being said, he put me on the spot because my creative writing teacher put one of my poems inside the school, the school yearbook or publishing book or something, whatever. They had some stupid contest or whatever, and I guess I won. I don't know how the fuck he even, whatever. He put the goddamn poem in the book, and people was like, "You wrote that shit?" My English teacher made me say that in front of everyone, and it was like, "You wrote that shit? That was you? That was deep? That was different. We didn't expect that to come from you, being that I was a kind of a jock and a person that my mask was this popular person, and you know what I'm saying? I had a lot of pain, so I used my charisma to block that and mask that in the way that I was able to make people like me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
With that being said, it wasn't until I was homeless for 5 years of my adolescence and stuff like that that writing really took me to another place. As far as meeting different people. And then I actually decided, what, football is not it. I hurt myself playing, semi-pro, and I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not even making that much money. I didn't have no way to live. It was just a lot going on. So I turned to art, and I was kind of just doing it as a way of just to, because I was very angry about, whatever I was going through in life. We don't got to talk about all that because we all have adversity. And that's the main thing that I want to keep, saying is that we all have that shit. So I'm not going to get into details about what I went through because that shit doesn't matter. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like it doesn't matter about how many different songs I have. That doesn't matter. What it matters is the character of the person behind the music. You feel what I'm saying? I think we kind of lost that in our generation, or it just in our world, that we kind of don't look at the authenticity of things. We look at more of the sardanapalionistic or the embellishment, the elaborate ways of people rather than how they actually are. You understand what I'm saying? With that being said, excuse me, I'm sorry if I'm going on and on about other things, and I'm not fully answering your question.
Right.
With that being said, I got into art when I came home from jail, and I realized I had a gift writing poetry, and I was in the Covenant House myself. I was actually a homeless youth, and I was just writing, and that's how I realized I was inspiring my peers, and then I started holding like creative writing or creative expression groups with my peers, just like freely. Like, it wasn't something that the program put together. It was something that I did, and I was just like, oh shit, this is like powerful. Like, letting people express themselves freely is a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And I felt that from my peers, not from, I woke up this morning and I made $100,000 because I made a rap song. I felt that from life experience and uplifting others and seeing people go from sad to happy to mad to feeling whatever they need to feel and go through that almost as if the art was the psychology. It was the person that sat there and listened to you. You know what I'm saying? It was the psychology of the mind, of the freedom, the exfoliation of thyself. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it was. You feel what I'm trying to say? So then I started to get noticed for my poetry. I became a Nuyorican poet at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, and I was a homeless kid that, honestly, that was how I ate. Like, I would find a place to sleep in a building close, and I would go over there and I would do my spoken word, and that was like that was me. That's what I did, and that's how I got a sandwich. And to some people it was like, yo, that was dope, but to me that shit was like, yo, my nigga, leave me alone. Like, I'm hungry.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't start rapping until I started to take myself a little bit more seriously, artistically. But it was because I was discouraged from the art that was being put out, and I felt like people didn't take rap seriously. So why would they take me seriously, coming to it and taking it seriously? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So spoken word was the only way, and it was the freest way for me to be myself.
This is true.
I'm speaking word right now.
Right. Yeah. You're doing that. Straight up.
When did you realize that you were already successful at what you're doing?
I realized that I was successful the day that I started to walk in gratitude. When I say that, I say that when I started working with the nonprofit organization, even though I had some things that occurred that, I mean, we don't need to speak about it. It's negative, but the positive things was that I went from being homeless in the beginning to still being homeless at the end, but I gave everything. Those kids, they still reach out to me. They know my life. They know what I go through. They know that I'm a real person, and that means everything, and that's success to me. That I know that I could reach out to any person that knows me, and they could say, yo, this is Vega. Vega's like this. You understand? That's success.
Yeah.
It's the consistency of character. You understand?
Sure.
Nonetheless, it also ties into, and I want to say this because it's very important to me, that I wake up every day with the breath of life in my lungs, and that is success at a dying breed. How can I not feel success every day that I breathe, that I could roll up my spliff and I could smoke and I could see the smoke go in the sky and I could listen to any kind of music I want to listen to. If I want to listen to Barry White, if I want to listen to Isaac Hayes, if I want to listen to whatever I want to listen to, Marvin Gaye, if I want to sit there and I want to listen to the Bee Gees, if I want whatever I want to do, I could sit there and I could do it, and I could create and manifest my own universe with the energy that I manifest inside myself. My destiny is success. I was born successful. My name, what it means. We must know what our name means. You were born with that name, and this means something. And whatever the fuck it means, you better figure the fuck it out what the fuck it means, because that means if you don't know what the fuck it means, then you don't know who the fuck you are. You understand?
That's right. Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So negus.
Yes.
In negus, the word negus, it's actually niggas. And you hear what I said? Niggas. What is it? You heard what I said, right? What does that sound like?
Mm-hmm.
What does it sound like? Oh, right. But it means negus, niggas, Negus. It means king in the Ethiopian Amharic dialect. The English language is a bastard language, lost in translation. They have given you names, okay, that mean the total opposite of what you think it means, because you don't know the origin of where it comes from. When you look in that dictionary and you see what it says next to it, it says noun, adjective, but it also says GRE, which means Greece.
Come on.
Or EGY, which means Egypt.
Come on.
You understand? You have to pay attention to context clues if people do not know how to read and write. There's those of us that have taught ourselves to read and write. So what is your excuse? My name is Vega. It means the brightest star in the constellation, one of the brightest stars. It also means pasture. A pasture is what? It's spread out. It's even ground for the most part. I am of Earth. I was born a Virgo. The only sign that is relative and synonymous to any other sign. Why am I so universal? Because the universe wants me to connect with the universe. I have to be open and ready and willing and able. The only way I'm able to do that is by getting on the phone and talking to fucking total strangers about God knows what.
I love it.
And I don't want to play a fucking goddamn single verse.
Come on.
That shit don't mean not a now, not a thing. Because I could sit there and rap to 1,000 people, and I could sit there and talk to 1,000 people, and I guarantee you, I talk to them, they're going to feel that shit more than when I'm rapping, because half of them can't even understand. They lost in translation. I'm in another space. I'm in a meditative space when I conduct art. There's no way that if your spirit is not awoke that you're going to be able to be synonymous or be in the moment and be able to understand and be relative or be a relative to the ancestors that we bringing about in the process of celebration.
I like that.
In case anyone just tuning in, you are live with Nakia and Susie tonight on Endie Fiya with our very special guest, King Vega. Now, it's not normal for me to just sit back and shut the hell up. But tonight, like I feel like I need to be informed.
I'm next
I
to
feel
you.
like you are
I'm next to you. I'm next to you.
You know, you need to be educated.
I'm next to you.
So
I'm next to you.
I want him to just freely speak tonight for anyone who may need what he's delivering tonight. I want you to just sit back and listen. And the good thing about our shows is, you know, they play back on many different platforms. So if you miss a part of it or if you miss the show completely, you can always come back and get this knowledge that he's pouring out to you right now. Who would you influence? Who influences your style? Whether it's as a rap artist or whether it's a spoken word artist, who influences you?
You know, it's a combination of things. I try not to base myself on one stem or root, because a tree has many roots.
Many roots, yeah.
Yes. So I want to say my style is trap jazz, as is inspired by genre, by two genres. You understand? Trap rap music and jazz mixed together. So I'm a jazzy trapper. I'm a jazzy person, but I have so much soul. I'm vibrant that it brings about this ghetto fabulous music, this ghetto child that's so golden. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the rose that grew from the concrete, as Tupac spoke upon. When he spoke upon it, he bestowed that upon us, and that is inscribed on the tablet of my heart. You understand what I'm saying? To be that night that shines in the darkness. The only thing that drives out the darkness, the light. You understand? So if I'm inspired by anything, I'm inspired by the light. I don't